Ooh. Alright, that was good.
Alright, hello!
Hello! We're
Welcome!
back.
We're back after a very long break.
A long hiatus.
Welcome to the long
In short,
of it. Oh. I guess I was supposed to allow for...
no.
Let's do it again. Welcome to the long.
In short,
Of.
It. You're supposed to have both
Of
words.
it.
You didn't need to have just of.
it's fine. It's fine. We're fine.
Maybe one day we'll iron that out. But probably not.
No, we won't. It's okay.
I like the
Yeah.
bit.
Mm-hmm.
So why did we have a long hiatus? Oh, I'm Deanna.
I'm Tim, and today we have...
Ryia.
Again.
Woo!
Yay.
Yeah, we had a long hiatus for our normal excuse of...
School. Work.
Yeah.
Dying.
It may only get marginally better. Because I just finished.
Woo!
But Ryia and Tim have not.
6 months. 6 months.
Yeah. And also we got winter break for you guys.
Woo!
So that'll work out a little bit better.
Oh my god, you don't have a winter break.
I don't have a winter break. I just have a job.
Oh, that's so weird.
Spring break.
Oh,
Nope.
you don't have
After.
that
I don't have spring break either.
Nope.
That's sad. Now you guys are all just going to leave.
You guys are an adult.
Existential.
Yeah. But yeah, had to complete all my work, and I'm still actually not done, technically.
Woo!
Same.
It's fine.
We're in the same boat for now.
Yeah, figured it'd be a nice holiday episode.
Jingle bells.
Be more inclusive. Happy holidays.
Yeah, I said
Happy
holidays.
holidays.
I didn't say Christmas episode.
Well, now you just did.
Well,
No.
technically we also.
Do other
Christmas.
cultures not have jingle bells? They
No.
have bells that jingle.
No.
It's a different type of bell.
No.
It's still a bell that makes
Bell
noise.
peppers.
And they don't jingle. They rattle.
We take out all the seeds. They carve them like pumpkins. We should start doing that.
Carving peppers?
Yeah, but for Christmas, because it's like bells.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Will
It would-
they also get moldy in like 4 days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yum.
But it'll be better than taking out a pumpkin.
That's true.
You just toss it in the trash and you're good.
Did we do anything like exciting?
Work.
Yeah.
We went to Italy for your birthday.
Tim went to Punta Cana.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. I did do
Oh,
that.
yeah, we did go to Italy. Italy, New York is better than Italy, Boston. Just gonna go on record.
Hot take.
Sorry.
It is.
I wouldn't know.
Our friend spent $45 extra in truffles.
Way to go, Tom.
Tom he got pasta and wanted to add, truffle sauce to it, but said, I'll have the truffles with it. And they had two options that they did not tell him. And he added $45 in truffles to his $20 meal. So,
Well, was one of them $8?
well, the sauce was $8.
That is
Yeah.
a steep price difference that they should have
But
asked
they
him
gave
to
him
elaborate on.
shavings of white truffle. And he was just like, this is normal.
This is
And
fine.
I
ate
asked
all-
for sauce.
I
but
had-
shavings is fine.
I had a single shaving, and I think it was probably $5 in that shaving.
My God.
It was great.
Yeah, were they pretty frugal on the amount of shavings?
No,
So
Like
did you only get 9
some-
shavings?
no, they
Yes.
got like no. I think
Big.
there's probably like 15, but it was still too
It's not
much.
worth it. That was
Considering,
$3
like-
a shaving.
It's three-
Considering
yeah.
it wasn't really like a thick shaving, like it's not like
Thick.
yeah, it was like light and poor guy.
Well,
Made our
he
day.
had to accept it at
Yeah,
that point because he ate
The
it.
bill was the best part.
Oh.
And all of the rest of us would have been like pissed, but he was just like,
It's
well,
fine.
this might as well
Might as
happen.
well, yeah.
There's no way you can get out of it at that point.
Yeah.
Besides just being like, hey, I ordered this. I didn't know that's what it meant, and I still ate it. Can I get $40 off?
I'd been like, no.
Yeah, I wonder what that guy would have done.
He was really nice though,
Yeah.
so he might have.
No, I don't think he could have gotten out of that.
I think he could have. If he was like,
Argue that
well,
they
you
didn't.
didn't explain to me that there were two options and the one that I asked for you defaulted to as the higher price one. That's a little sketchy on your part, isn't it, Mr. Waiter Man?
But
And he would have been like, oh, I'm so sorry.
yeah, I just feel like we also could have been like, also we waited 30 minutes, so we were in a rush and blah, blah, past our
Yeah,
reservation
right?
time.
True. Very true.
We didn't get anything for that.
No.
And we served in and out and
We ate in what, like half an hour?
half an
Yeah,
hour.
the time we waited was the time we ate. in.
Yeah.
Ew.
We made a
Ew.
reservation for 1:30 and didn't eat until 2. So stupid.
But then finished by 2:30.
Yeah,
Made up for lost time.
that's true.
What else did we do?
Over the course of this semester, not
Yeah.
much. Well, we did a lot of pumpkin-y things. We went pumpkin picking, right?
Yeah, we went
Mhm.
apple picking.
Yeah. Otherwise, that was like the extent of our fun. We saw some shows of rocket ship,
Yeah.
Ooh!
as mentioned in a previous episode.
Yep. The boy lies.
Um,
I just put their pins on my backpack. I
Aw.
found them and I was like,
I'm waiting for
Just
their
put
new
them on
merch
it.
to come out.
you'll be waiting.
I know, but it's okay.
Just like the time you've waited for the first t-shirt
Yeah.
you wanted.
It's okay. I'm patient.
Salty. I'm saltily patient.
It's okay. We'll get there.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really all we did.
What do we want to do today? Just kidding. I already have
Well, Deanna has it planned
I
out.
already
So,
have a
Deanna,
plan.
what are we doing today?
I found well, I'm gonna start with some fun would you rather's. Bring it back as a classic. If I'm sniffling, I'm sorry. I'm slightly sick.
Gross.
That's why Ryia and I are on a 10-meter difference from her.
Yeah, I didn't want to breathe all over them. And then we'll probably do some hypotheticals.
Ooh.
Again,
Yes.
we need a nice way to cap the year.
Yes,
We'll be back again in the new year with new stuff.
Oh, yeah.
No, we won't. We'll probably
Oh.
do the same stuff.
Yeah. You're right.
All right.
Okay. I'm ready,
This
I think.
is the first one.
Okay.
Would you rather be on
No.
death row for a crime you didn't commit
Oh.
and the most important person in your life is free, but they committed the crime? Or be free, but the most important person in your life is on death row for a crime you committed?
Oh,
Oh.
man.
Also, these are all courtesy of Reddit.
Good. You didn't want to plagiarize that.
Yeah.
Yeah. She didn't come up with these.
227 days ago.
So
That's
be
hard.
on death row, but the most important in your life is free.
But they committed
But
the
they
crime.
did it.
So you're on death row for
Being
something
selfless
that
there.
your favorite person did. Or you did something and your favorite person is on death row for you. I guess so for me, I feel like I would be on death row for them, but only if they were remorseful. If they were just like, sweet, thanks.
Woohoo!
For me, I feel like it depends on how old my favorite person is, and if they're like significantly older
Wow,
than
Rob.
me,
God.
then I might.
Who's
be
your favorite
like-
person? Pick.
Ageist.
The first thing that popped in my head was my mom, so I was
Aw.
like, she's older than me, so
Wow. Therefore.
so she can be on death row, and I can live my life.
You would not do
I
that.
wouldn't.
No way.
I don't think I could
I wouldn't be able to.
be happy knowing
Yeah.
that someone died for me.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Living a pretty remorseful life.
I mean, it would suck,
You're
but
like,
at
"Oh
least
my
my
God."
bitterness of being like, I did this for you would end very quickly because I would be dead.
That's true.
Yeah.
I guess it depends what death row is like.
I'm imagining guillotine.
Yeah, that's what I imagined. I was like, I'm getting decapitated.
Yeah.
Oh, I
But-
imagine getting the needle.
Oh, I want to go out in style.
Yeah. At least that's
I wanna go
instantaneous,
quickly.
right?
It's supposed
Supposed to be.
Yeah, if they fuck up, it's not.
Oh my god! Imagine only having like the top, like the tip of your spine being cut, and you're just kind of like,
Ooh.
still here, guys.
I don't even know if you
I
would feel
cheated
it.
death.
I don't know if you would feel it at that point. Like
You would.
You think so?
Yeah,
I feel
you
like
would.
you'd be so blacked out from pain that
It depends how badly they mess up.
Oh my god,
That's
my
true.
legs hurt.
If they cut off
The
your
needle-
spine but you're still awake, then all of the nerves get
Oh,
passed
that's
through
true.
your spine. So then it wouldn't be able to
I don't
process the pain. And
My-
you'd just be like, oh.
I just got a
what?"
weird twinge in between my eyes that was pure pain.
From the guillotine.
Does the needle hurt?
Well,
No.
putting the needle in, I'm
But
sure,
like,
hurts a
is
little.
it like a slow death?
I think they give you
is it
like a
painful?
few things. Like I feel like they put you to sleep first or something, right?
No.
Or like something that like
Well, I
relaxes
don't think
your
it
body.
hurts. I don't think it's like molten lava being poured into your veins.
I
Yeah.
You
think it's just
suffer.
something that just gently kills you.
Yeah,
That's
I think
how
it's
it
like an
sounds cute.
anesthesia type thing.
Yeah.
Where
Huh.
like,
Okay, I
Or
would
any
like
sort of
that,
things.
but
Just kill me quick. I don't care how you do it as long as it's fast and I don't feel anything.
yeah. Well, you can't always ask for that.
yeah,
I'm gonna assume since it's death row that it's something mangled, and let's go with guillotine.
yeah.
I don't think that's.
At least it's not like
Well,
pulling apart
I
your
never said it
limbs.
was.
Yeah.
Pulling the blood eagle.
Is that what it's called?
Or
No.
being stoned.
Blood eagle is
Mm.
when they cut open your back and they separate your rib cage
Damn,
and they pull
damn,
out your lungs.
Damn.
You've told me that, and then
Yeah.
because there's nothing around it to keep the lungs in,
Yeah, they just keep
and
expanding.
then they explode.
And then they bet to see if you die from bleeding out or die from suffocation.
Holy crap.
What? You don't think that sounds pleasant?
No.
It's from medieval times.
Every
It's
time
okay.
you s-
Vikings, they did it.
My back hurts now.
Every time you say stoned, I think of Handmaid's Tale and how they just like
Throw rocks.
beat the crap out of that in that circle.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
they all had to throw rocks at her.
Yeah, that was
Mhm.
sad.
That was sad.
I haven't finished that
that
show.
show is
I
sad.
should, but it's holiday season. I don't want to be depressed.
Yeah, we don't want to think about that.
You have free time now.
I know I'm gonna have weekends and nights,
You can catch up on Woo!
except for when I'm like helping you guys.
You got time for that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. All right. On a lighter note, would you rather? This I've heard this before, obviously.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Would you rather have hiccups for the rest of your life or constantly feel like you have to sneeze?
Hiccups. Well, wait.
Mm.
Are they like the deep hiccups? Or just like surface level
What the heck
hiccups?
does that mean?
You know, the ones where like it kind of hurts?
Yeah.
Where you're
Um,
like, oh, God, my lungs.
Uh-huh.
I assume it's generic hiccups.
Yeah.
Because like the deep ones feel like there's an air bubble that's going in two different directions and you're just like,
That
Ah.
sounds like a medical
Ow.
condition. I'm gonna go with sneeze because at least I feel like I could tame that and get used to it. Versus hiccups, I would never be able to have a normal conversation again.
I'd rather hiccup.
Even like on a phone call or like if I'm presenting something at work. It would just piss me off.
I'd
That's
probably go
fa-
with the sneeze thing because it's at least just like a looming feeling as opposed to like impact. Where
Yeah.
you're just kind of like,
Yeah,
and
like
then
it's
nothing
never
happens,
happening.
And you're just like, I feel
That's-
slightly uncomfortable,
So you have
I'm
that
feeling like-
but at
constant
least my
feeling
body
in your
isn't like
nose.
moving the whole
Yeah, it's
time.
like the little like sizzly feeling in your nose.
Yeah.
I feel like I could get used to that after a while. Versus like
Yeah.
hiccuping is just like I'm never gonna stop.
Yeah, but I hate the feeling of a sneeze that's stuck in my nose.
That's true. It is a bad feeling.
Like I truly hate it.
Oh, I'm okay with it as like if it just means I can still speak.
People just think if you have hiccups, they just have like a twitch or something that you can't control.
Yeah.
So I mean, they'll let it slide.
I mean, people with Tourette's, they're fine.
Yes, but I just don't think I could do it.
I mean, you hate repetitive motion, but apparently when
Yeah.
it comes from you, it doesn't apply anymore.
Yeah.
So I would be curious to see how you feel about yourself doing this all the time, if you would get used to it, or if you're like, man.
I mean, I guess regardless, you'd get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to sound. I feel like I'm really annoying with hiccups, so it's just like. I just saw the FedEx
Yeah, it also
truck.
depends on your hiccups.
Yeah.
I saw the FedEx truck outside, and I thought it was the UPS, and I'm disappointed. I'm waiting on a gift
Not today.
for today.
I'm
I'm so excited. Would you rather be around people who brag all the time or people who complain all the time?
Oh, well,
People who complain all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of the status quo.
Yeah.
We're the biggest group of whiners ever, so it's fine.
Yeah, I just feel like, I mean, real negativity is like awful,
Yeah.
but bragging is just like so off-putting, and
Mhm.
you cannot relate to that.
Yeah, bragging like sets some sort of like dynamic difference between you and whoever's bragging.
And it's just like, oh,
And
look
they're
at how
just like-
privileged I am. Oh my god.
Well, look at this great accomplishment I did and you didn't. And
Yeah.
you're just like, all right.
Cool.
It's one way to bring yourself up by bringing other people down in comparison, I
Exactly.
guess.
And if you're complaining, you can all bond over the fact that you're complaining about the same thing.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes there's just one person that's complaining and you're just like, I'm sorry.
I can't help you.
I don't relate.
Yeah, I just don't think
Can't do it.
we work with both at school, so.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I would say bragging gets on my nerves more.
Yeah, me too.
Just because complaining can be lighthearted, but when it's bragging, it automatically makes it like more intense than just saying like, "Hey, look at this thing that I did or accomplished," and you're like, "Oh, I'm really proud of you. That's cool." But if they're like to the point of rubbing it in your face, and you're like, "All right, dude, chill."
Yeah.
Yeah, or it's just like, clearly I am superior to everyone else.
Yeah.
The last one. Would you rather be ugly but smell amazing, or be handsome/beautiful but stink?
Ugly but smell amazing.
Hmm.
Because technically, beauty is objective.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
It is.
That's true. But smell is constant.
Yep.
Well, I assume they're thinking conventional, meaning, pop culture's
A-list
idea.
celebrity or hobo.
Hmm.
You have the hobo smell,
like-
but the look of a celebrity, or you look like a hobo but smell like a celebrity.
Look like Blake Lively, but you smell like trash.
I'd like
Yeah.
to point out that ya boy Ducky is the Reddit user. Commented, "I'm already ugly, so I'd like to smell good."
I like that.
That's so sad.
That was pretty much, that's right on the point there.
I just don't think anyone's gonna come near you if you stink,
Yeah.
regardless
right.
if you look nice. Like, maybe it would get you notoriety, like you could be famous, but like everyone's still.
Pictures would be taken of you.
But no one's gonna want to. Yeah, but no one's gonna want to be with you.
No.
Versus, like, someone will find you acceptable if you're ugly.
Acceptable.
Yeah. Well, I'm
once
thinking
they-
like this is like they made you a troll, but
Oh,
like someone
okay.
will find your personality worthwhile. I always go to the extreme for would you rather's because that's like what people are getting at. Like,
Yeah.
would you rather look like troll or? But like if I smell good, people are gonna be like, ooh. I'll lure people in with my scent.
That sounds really weird, but okay.
That's
That was
something a
the
troll
point.
would say.
Yeah. See, I'll lure them under
This
my
bridge
bridge.
smells
Yeah.
really good. Mm. Well, yeah, we didn't even get to like how wafty is this smell? Is it like a 5-foot radius you
I feel
start
like
smelling them, or is
It's
it like
SpongeBob.
intimate level, like
Okay, wait. What is she talking about?
I feel like it's like
when they're in the
SpongeBob,
movie theater?
When he's like,
Oh,
"I'm ugly and
when he
I'm
stinks.
proud."
Yeah.
I feel like
Not at all, boy.
it can't be. I feel like as soon as you entered a store, people would smell you.
Yeah.
Store. So any sort of confined space,
Mhm.
your smell immediately envelops
Yeah.
like you're in Yankee Candle.
Yeah.
No one can smell the candles. They're just like, get this guy out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
it's
smells
bad.
like crap.
Yeah, I just
I was thinking of more like
BO.
a 2-foot radius of like
No,
enough for
yeah.
them to like say, ooh, that person's attractive, and then they like start talking to you for 2 seconds, then immediately regret it.
Bye.
because I was just thinking like I wanted it to go out further just because I wanted it to be like someone saw you from a distance, but then was like, but they stink.
But if you're like 20 feet away, how you know it's that person?
Yeah.
That's a good point. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So all right, I'll
You
take
just-
it. 5-foot radius or less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that way
2
they
foot.
have to like get to that zone of intimacy
Yeah, so
before
any-
they're like, oh shit, I made a really awful mistake.
So
Yeah.
any sort of conversation. It would
Yeah.
just suck though because like again, like I always think about it like in the workplace, like making networking would just be terrible. And even
Yeah.
like making friends, not even on a dating level.
You always be that
Oh, well,
person
yeah,
that
I know. I'm
smells.
saying like any sort of social interaction,
Yeah.
they would be like, oh, that's like an attractive looking fellow. Maybe I'll go talk to them. And then they don't realize till they get like right up there and they've committed.
Yeah.
And they can't just like walk away and like say, oh, I'm just taking a left.
But
they're right there.
if you smell good, then it's like, I want to go over to that guy.
Exactly.
Yeah. So ugly, but smell good.
Mm-hmm.
It's less offensive to the senses. I feel like visual.
Well, we haven't even taken into account people that either can't see or can't smell.
Oh.
Yeah.
There you go.
You know, you're right.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, like, I feel like the visual sense is, like, the least. Like, if something's too loud
Yeah.
or something smells awful, like, that so much affects you so much more, in my opinion, than, like, if you see something.
Well, I think we're pretty visual people.
Yeah.
Like, we look for clear symmetry in other people.
No, I know,
and
but
we
I'm
deem
saying,
that,
like, I'm not gonna be like grossed out by seeing someone ugly as I am gonna be grossed out if I smell something bad.
Well, what's your extreme ugly?
I'm still imagining a troll. I honestly have the hormone monster from Big Mouth in my mind.
Wait, like the old one?
Oh, I didn't even think of the old one. I was just thinking about Maurice. Wait, yeah, the old one actually is better.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, God. That
He's
changes things.
So I was thinking ugly as like skin complexion, asymmetrical face, maybe like one eye missing type of like
mole.
crazy
But
sort
there's
of things.
probably someone out there like
But
that right now.
mole can be a beauty mark. Yeah, but I'm saying like you said you like to take it to an extreme, so I was just curious as like what your ugly extreme was.
I guess.
Because like there could be a visual disgust to the point where you don't even want to look at that person.
That's true, but I just didn't think it would ever be so bad. Like, I'm not thinking super extreme.
Okay, so you're thinking extreme, but
But
not
not-
super extreme.
I'm not thinking that they're
not
a monster.
polarizing.
I'm thinking they're still, like, human, and, like, they just might have some...
Yeah, well, what if they have like a skin condition or skin disease or...
Yeah. I mean, it'd have to be really gross.
But
Yeah.
like, would you be ugly because you have a disease?
If
No.
it affected you physically, you might be deemed less
Mhm.
attractive if,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you had like...
I mean, like, would... Yeah.
What's that skin disease that like, you know, patches fall off?
Fall
and
off,
everything?
yeah.
Yeah. The one that was like in medieval times that was just like never cured.
I forget what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
The
that
one
would
where
not...
you literally have to be bandaged
Yeah.
or else it falls off. Like that type of stuff.
I think we're thinking more, instead of ugly, of, like, disgusting. Almost like there's just, like... You
Like,
can't...
you
Like,
were-
your stomach...
Like you're revolting.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what we were saying about the smell is revolting.
Mhm.
Whereas
Yeah.
we could have said, like, it's an extreme unpleasant smell.
Mm-hmm.
But we were saying, like, this is, like, get that thing away from me. Because that's,
Right.
like, rotting.
Yeah. I think ugly for me would have to be something like... Oozing.
Oozing.
Ew.
Well, good to know.
Why'd you say it like that?
I guess. In my head, I wasn't thinking that gross, but I guess I should be.
Yeah, because we were thinking the smell was that gross.
Yeah.
Or the smell is that good. Because you could just be a pleasant smell or a slightly unpleasant smell.
Do you think if, like, a bunch of people took this, like, each person would have a different smell to you? Like, what does smell good mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I would say everyone has a different sense of smell.
Because I feel like a lot of
Scent
people...
is in the nose of the beholder.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of people, to me, would smell like cheese.
yo, you smell like Gouda. Thanks.
Like, are you insulting
I was
me?
thinking, like, blue cheese. Like, imagine how many
No.
people would smell like blue cheese.
See, to
Like,
me, you
mm.
could say, man, that smells good. That smells like blue cheese. And they'll be like, no, they smell like shit. They smell like blue cheese.
You're like the only one.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It smells good.
Yeah, as long as it smells good. Yeah.
Some smell not good, but
But yeah, I don't know.
I didn't know that
I
was
guess
gonna
I would
be so
I guess I would still be ugly and smell good, though.
yeah. Well, okay, we're all in agreement.
Yeah. Because if we're not going to go polarizing extremes of like drop dead gorgeous but smells like rotting flesh,
Oh God. Ugh.
if we're just going for like a modest unpleasant look or smell, I would go for the slightly unpleasant look.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
they would smell like our trash can from last week. And we didn't take it out for like a week.
See, that to me is the point of disgust.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the point of like, oh, that smells like slightly rancid. That's like, get that away
Yeah.
from me as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Which is what I would think someone with like a dilapidated like skin condition is to me, is like, get that away
Yeah.
from me because I feel like I might get that.
Yeah.
That's fair.
No offense to those people. So.
No offense. I'm just saying, like,
No offense, I
if
just
they
couldn't deal
have
with it.
like patches of skin falling off, you know, you're not gonna be like, I could deal with that
Yeah.
just because they smell good.
I mean, maybe other people could, but we couldn't.
There's someone for everybody.
Sorry,
Yeah,
we're
true.
vain.
No, we're not that vain. Because if we were, we would have
No.
said that we would have chosen beauty.
Yeah, exactly.
If we're
Looks
drawing
over
the
smelling all
line
the time.
at your skin is falling off, I don't think we're vain.
Exactly. Yeah. There you
Cool.
go.
All right, Ryia, you got something for us?
Yeah.
Transitioning from would you rather's to a different type of question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me
So-
move those cards around a little bit in the microphone. That's nice.
So we have the game Hypotheticals again, which if you didn't listen to the previous episode,
Screw you.
oh, okay, yeah, go back. This episode's over for you now.
No, go back after.
Oh, okay.
You never let someone click off a video to go watch another video. That is bad transition styles. Never do that.
Well,
after you're done with this one,
tips from
because
Tim.
you're already like
25 minutes.
25 minutes into this one. You might as well continue.
That's true.
So, it's a game where it's basically icebreaker conversations. It was designed to be that, but it's just hypothetical situations, and we just discussed them.
How much does a polar bear weigh?
2,500 pounds.
Enough to break the ice.
Wow, Tim held out his hand to shake it.
There we go. I just made a business deal.
Wow. Okay, so this one's called Banquet of Lovers.
Good.
Are they ugly?
Oh,
smell
and
good?
last time me and Tim picked and made Ryia guess who chose them.
Yes.
And she didn't have any insight. This time we let Ryia pick them, and we're gonna
And
guess
we know who picked them.
we're gonna guess who chose them.
It says, every person you have ever slept with is invited to a banquet where you are the guest of honor. No one will
Oh,
Oh, we
in
have
atten-
done this one.
Did we do this?
Yeah,
one?
we did this
Or
one.
did we read it?
I think we read this one. But keep going. No, it's a good one.
I couldn't remember if we did it on air or if we read it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every person you have ever slept with is invited to a banquet where you are the guest of honor. No one will be in attendance
awkward.
except you. The collection of your former lovers and the catering service. After the meal, you are asked to give a 15-minute speech to the assembly. What do you talk about?
How great I am and how they're missing out.
My God.
That's 100% what I would do. I would be like, I've gathered you all here today to talk about how my life has gotten so much better without you.
Like, do you miss me?
My
What
God.
did you do? How's your current girlfriend? Not great?
I'm assuming this is
Sucks.
like later
Yeah.
in life for me when there's like more people,
You're
but
like 50?
not 50.
I was like, what are your life goals? Like, yeah, when I'm like 35 and I got like 200 under my belt,
I didn't say that.
then the banquet will be popping.
You just fill the whole room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just would be like, I don't know.
It would just be like an extremely personally awkward high school reunion where you're just like, it's been a while. Don't really know what to say.
Yeah.
I was in this part of my life when I met you, but now I've done a lot more things since then. So,
It depends if it ended poorly.
That's what I was
If
gonna
I'm just
say.
like friends
Yeah.
with them still, I'd be like, what's up, guys?
But like, if it ended on a horrible note and like now you two hate each other, that's so awkward.
And you're just like, yeah, well,
I'm an
This is
awkward
how it
person.
is.
So
What
like,
would you
I
say?
wouldn't make it through it. Me?
Yeah.
yeah.
Let me see.
I probably
With your
would-
200
Yeah.
people that would be in the banquet by
Yeah.
age 35.
all 200 of them. I don't know. I'd be like, look.
Is the catering service also the former lovers?
I feel like I'd be like, I didn't arrange this. I don't know why you guys are here. I
How
don't
much
know.
money are
Why
they
would
giving
I
you?
even go to this?
Yeah.
Am I being tricked into going? Into going.
Into the going.
Sorry, I was reading
like you
after
get
the
paid.
meal.
Um.
15 minutes? How do I fill 15 minutes? I would just...
It all started when I was
I'd be
born.
like, hey, sorry we're no longer together. I'm happy now. Like, I don't like.
I doubt half of them were my fault, so...
Like, what are you supposed to say? Just be like, yeah, I'm doing great. Married, got a kid or two. Like,
Or not.
Yeah,
Super
whatever
single,
happens.
living life.
have a great career, travel a lot.
I feel like I would not care. And I would just be like, so I'm up to these things.
How are you?
Maybe what I would
Yeah.
do is I would go through every single person and be like, you taught me this, and you taught me this, and you taught
Wow, really inspired by Ariana Grande right there.
Thank you, next.
Yeah. I don't know, like,
Or it could just be, you could just roast them.
yeah.
Instead of like, trying to make it positive, you could just do like one of those televised roasts
Ooh.
where you're just like, you were really nice, but goddamn, those times when you were just such a bitch all the time. Like,
You smelled really bad.
yeah, like Time to air your grievances for 15 minutes.
I couldn't take how twitchy your eye was.
I feel like it'd be like a Michael Scott roast.
Yeah.
Boom.
Have
roasted.
a PowerPoint presentation
Yeah.
go along with it.
I feel like
Just a bullet point of like pros and cons of each relationship that went on.
I would actually just go up to their table and eat something off of their plate and criticize it and then just
Wow.
walk away.
Whoa.
You're criticizing the catering now?
Yeah. What
Damn.
Did they do to
No,
you?
their choice.
Oh,
in
their
food.
choice in food.
Yeah.
Wow. But what if
'Cause
they
it's a
only have
banquet.
2 options?
Is a banquet also like a buffet, or did they get served?
It depends.
I'm assuming it's a buffet at this point in time.
Well, if that's what you want it to be, then it will be.
It is.
Okay.
All right. Next one.
All right.
This one's called the moon fight.
Fighting on the moon.
Fight.
Okay.
A total stranger picks a fight with you in a bar. The stranger is exactly your size and weight.
Oh.
You have done nothing to this individual to warrant such animosity, but the stranger really wants to fight you. And to make matters weirder, the stranger wants to fight you on the moon.
Gotcha.
And this is somehow possible.
Okay.
You and the stranger will be transported to the surface of the moon, outfitted in ultra-thin and very comfortable spacesuits,
Oh, that's good.
and rigged with lightweight oxygen tanks.
Okay.
You will then be expected to fight for 10 3-minute rounds. You can't use weapons, there are no rules, and you cannot quit unless you or your opponent are knocked unconscious. Do you accept this challenge? And if yes, what is your moon fighting strategy?
Knock off their air tank.
Yeah.
Then they
Wait.
pass out, and then you win.
10 3-minute rounds?
10
Yeah.
3-minute rounds.
What's the if
recuperate.
if I say no, what's the point? Do I get anything? Like, does anything happen to me? I'm just gonna say no.
Okay, well, let's change it and say that you have to.
Yeah.
What would you do?
My strategy?
Yeah, what
Yeah.
would your strategy
And you
be?
can't quit.
Yeah, because first off, I definitely wouldn't take it.
Too
Like,
legit to quit.
I mean, that'd be a good opportunity to go to the moon
I don't want to go to the moon
for free.
I was born here for a reason. I don't need to go anywhere else. I don't need to get off this planet.
Okay,
meaning.
grounder.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I was like, wait, isn't that a thing in that show?
Yeah.
Grounder.
Yeah.
What was
I
it
can't
called?
think of the name of it.
The 100.
I think
Yeah.
you're thinking of Grinder?
Oh God. No, I'll stay on this planet. Thank you. I'll watch from
Okay.
afar as other people go.
Yeah, is this going to be televised?
Tim looks so offended. Oh yeah, is this like
That'd be dope.
is this pay-per-view?
It does not say.
Okay, all right. If I'm gonna make money off of it, maybe I'll say yes.
Wow.
My strategy, I don't know. I don't think I would last very long in
Low
a
center of
fight.
gravity.
Oh, I know. Okay, so
I don't know what I
this
would do.
ties
Now
into
I know.
a story. So there were these 2 girls that got into a fight in high school, and if anyone from high school is listening to this, they might remember it.
Classic.
But well, we had a lot of fights, but there was one right outside of our locker room. At the end of the day, we had gym, and we were standing outside waiting for the bell to ring so we could go to the bus. And these girls started going at it, and they were like spinning and like kind of holding onto each other's hair and whatever.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, I hate
classic.
girl fights.
But see, like my theory
No
was,
fists.
I got on the bus with my friends, and we were like talking about it, and I was just like, what I just didn't understand was why they just didn't grab their hair and slam them into the concrete block on the wall. And my friends looked at me and went, they weren't trying to kill each other.
Yeah, no, it's the fight is never to kill someone.
So-
like it's not Sparta over here.
Yeah.
So
You
my
just wanted to
theory,
get them in a position where you could hit them.
Yeah.
I don't know, that just was like my thought. I mean, if you
Just
want to hurt
aggression.
them.
It's
So
aggression.
Yeah.
I thought it was a giant waste of time to fight anyway. If you're gonna fight and risk
There's no
expulsion,
blood drawn.
yeah, like if you better make it count. You better be out to like hurt this person.
Well, then you don't want to get sued on top of being
I
expelled.
understand at my school,
don't
they
fight.
would fight off school property. Like they'd wait
Yeah.
until they got home and
Oh.
like right off the bus, and then
Yep.
they'd beat the crap out of
We
each
didn't
Or
have
other.
like
that.
in a
We
nearby
also had a-
parking lot.
Mhm.
We also had a kid. We had 2 kids fighting. One that like the one sprinted around the school. I don't know why that happened. Anyway,
Okay.
yeah.
Weird strategy.
So my strategy in sum would be to, because is it also the same gender or is it just height and weight?
Exactly your size and weight.
Oh,
it's a
so
stranger.
it could be a dude.
Could be a guy.
Yeah.
Ugh, that's unfortunate. I would still, hopefully, if it was a girl, I would grab them by the hair and try to slam them in the ground.
You could
Then I thought about like
But
gravity.
they're wearing suits.
Oh
Like a
yeah, we gotta have the helmet.
It's on the moon. You
Ugh.
frickin'
punch
what
me
that?
in the tip.
No, I was thinking we could breathe. Like they made it so that we could
It
breathe.
says there's an oxygen tank.
Fine, I pull out their
Think it was in
tube.
your mouth? That's what I said. I said kick it off.
Otherwise, I don't have a strategy. I was gonna go. That story was totally pointless. I thought this whole time we were like just breathing through the. I didn't think we needed a suit around it. I thought it was just like in your mouth.
Space, Deanna. All right, this isn't a suspension of disbelief. If they went to the fact of having a lightweight but comfortable spacesuit, I would imagine a helmet would also be attached to that spacesuit. Or else, what's the point?
Okay, well, then otherwise it would be to like try and cut through the suit and let all the.
Okay, so you're out for murder.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
Oh, I'm supposed to fight them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other way. I just want to kill them.
You can just like disable them somehow. So if it was a guy, I'd kick him in the crotch.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, that's easy.
Girl, just punch
It's
him in the
living.
tit.
But do we? Okay, so are we accounting
I like
for?
your very 5 minutes of background for Deanna's I'd grab her hair and then you just be like punch her in the tit.
It hurts.
No, I just liked how you were very that's how it's got to be.
I don't know. Well, I
Very
was trying to think
succinct.
of very
You could
methodical
also
about it,
kiss
but
her in the crotch. It's not pleasant.
do we have to account for that space or the
Yes.
gravity on the moon
Yes.
is different? So
That's
you
why
could you could leap in the air 7 feet.
the most effective way would be to try and get the tube out.
the
Or
tube.
The tube.
Yeah, cut off
Or-
oxygen flow, then they pass out and you win.
Poke a hole in the oxygen tank.
Well, ripping into this, I guess that would be
Ripping
worse than
into the
just
suit
taking off
would
the
lead
tube.
them to temperature differential from their suit because it's also as cold in space. So you would be killing them through hypothermia and probably also
Instead of a lack of oxygen.
Then I wouldn't
Yeah.
have to go through the rest of the rounds.
yeah, but if you take off the oxygen, then they would just pass out, and before you kill them, it's just a matter of getting knocked out that
I
way.
guess, but that just seems so obvious. I'm trying to think of
Well,
something.
the other thing you
Ooh,
could
could
do
I use
is
moon
pin 'em.
rocks? Did they say that we
Okay.
could use weapons or
Not
not?
You can't
only-
use weapons.
Oh.
Not only have you said, why didn't they make them bleed? Now you're literally going into Spartan territory of grabbing rocks and hitting them with
Well, it
it.
would be slower.
They would still bleed.
Yeah.
You can't use weapons. There are no rules, and you
Oh,
can't quit.
there are no rules.
Well,
No
throwing
rules
no
for
weapons is a rule.
Yeah.
I think they just meant in the fisticuffs there are no rules.
Hmm.
Street rules.
Can I run around?
You could.
You can float around.
I was thinking you could just pin them,
I feel like it would take a long time to do anything because
put them in a hold, and
be
then they
like-
would just be struggling.
Is there some way I can outwit them?
yeah.
You could bounce around the moon and just play tag.
Yeah.
But then
They're
no one
3-minute
really
rounds,
wins.
so does anyone win or lose if I just run out the clock?
No, then it ends in a draw.
I'm okay with that. I'll make every round go in a draw just by running
Okay.
away.
Well, bouncing for 3 minutes in 10 times is gonna take a lot out of you.
I'm okay with that.
If you keep bouncing, maybe their strategy is just wait for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Until you get tired.
Yeah, and then they get you.
punch you in the face.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a lightweight
Do you have a
suit.
counter?
No.
No?
I'm just gonna hope that works.
Oh my god.
All right, well, if I saw you bouncing around,
Well,
I'd be
you
like,
won't
oh,
let me
wait.
kill them,
Hold
so.
Yeah, so you either cut off their oxygen supply or you could put them into a hold. And then
It's so boring. At least if I'm gonna be on the moon, I'm gonna have fun with it. Oh, I could also try and headbutt them to break their glass.
again, killing them. You are really not good at finding solutions that won't end in death.
It's so
Oh,
fun.
I could stab them.
It's
Wait.
it's so much easier.
Death. It's an easy thing to do.
Stomp on their foot.
You could put a rock on their foot so they can't move.
But
I mean, it's lower gravity,
lower gravity,
so
yeah.
it won't be as heavy.
Okay.
they'll just kick it at me.
Find a really big rock and put it on their foot so that it's still heavy no matter
Can
what.
we change the fight to a dodgeball match?
No.
Dodge rock.
Dodge moon rock.
That would actually be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Until you get hit in the face with a rock.
There's a helmet.
But I think you'd be moving slow enough you could see it coming.
Yeah.
Really? Because I've been hit in the face with some things that I should have seen
On the moon?
coming. No. Okay.
Wait. Oh yeah, she already said her strategy. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. Go ahead.
Oh, wait, what was your strategy? Oh, wait.
Cut off oxygen supply and pin them down.
Okay.
Lame.
Or you can take small jabs at vital organs.
Oh
and then-
God.
Oh God! Person that wants to murder 5 different ways. Oh no!
Don't
slowly.
punch him.
Yeah, don't punch him in the
I
kidney.
just felt you punching my kidney. That's what I felt.
Yeah, then
Like a
then it
balloon.
weakens you, and then by the 5th round you'll be out.
Oh, I'll bring balloons and pop them in their face, and it'll be unsettling.
Okay, next one. This one's the desert island. While traveling on business, your spouse, whom you love, is involved.
Oh, that's a good detail. I thought you didn't love
spouse
them.
you've been cheating on for 10 years.
God.
Is involved in a plane crash over the Pacific Ocean.
Oh, now I'm sad.
It is assumed that everyone on board has died, but then the unbelievable happens. It turns out that your spouse has survived. He/she managed to swim to a desert
Deserted
island, where she lived in relative comfort with one other survivor. They miraculously located most of the aircraft supplies on the beach, and the island itself was filled with ample food sources. The 2 survivors returned home via helicopter, greeted by the public as media sensations. During a press conference, you cannot help but notice that the other survivor physically embodies the type of person to whom your mate is normally attracted. Moreover, the intensity of the event has clearly galvanized the relationship between the 2 crash victims. Yeah. They spend most of the interview explaining how they could not have survived without the other person's presence. They explain how they pass the time by telling anecdotes from their respective lives, and both admit to having virtually given up on the possibility for rescue.
Okay.
At the end of the press conference, the 2 survivors share a tearful goodbye hug. It's extremely emotional. After the press conference, you are finally reunited with your spouse. He/she embraces you warmly and kisses you deeply. Now, how long do you wait before asking if he/she has ever
immediately ask
was ever unfaithful to you on this island? Do you ever ask? And if your mate's answer is yes, would that, under these specific circumstances, be acceptable?
I would immediately ask, and it would totally be acceptable.
I wouldn't want to know.
Wait, let me see.
I would want to know.
So
I don't think I'd want to know.
It would kill me, not knowing.
I'd have to know.
I'd be like, I just want to know. I would preface by saying, I will absolutely not be mad if I was in your situation and I thought I would have never made it out. I would have done the exact same thing. I would just like to know, to get it off my chest, if you did, and if you did, that's totally fine.
But then I would also want to follow up with, do you want to be with them?
This is what I'm saying. All of my insecurities would come out.
But I couldn't not ask. I'd ask.
I don't know if I could.
Well, if you didn't ask, and then what happens if you find out, like, 5 years down the line that, like, they were still seeing each other?
Also, aren't you still going to be thinking about it?
I would. Yeah. Okay, I feel like the reason why I would want to know is because I feel like no matter what, it would constantly be in the back of my head.
See, for me, I feel like, so I would be like, wow, that is unacceptable. But I would also be like, you thought you were going to die.
Yeah, they didn't know they were coming back.
Like, me personally, I would be like, I can't believe you. But then I'd be like, it's fine.
No, I would have been like, I totally understand.
I don't think I could do it.
Yeah, I mean, like, you gotta have some fun if you're gonna die on a desert island.
So fun.
I was just thinking of more, you just need someone with you if you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Like, I totally understand that you need some sort of emotional, social connection to someone else. If you never thought you were going to see, like, civilization ever again.
Nope.
That's why I would like to know. If they were like, no, I'd be like, wow, good for you for sticking it out, because I wouldn't have done that.
Oh, I'm the terrible person here. I feel like if they told me no, I still wouldn't believe them.
No, like, I'm like, you totally did. Totally did.
I mean, like, what?
You just have to trust them at that point.
It's like all the Survivor shows where people are like, oh my god.
If they're choosing to still be with me in the end, it wasn't really like...
Yeah, that should go to show that, like, they still kept you in their mind of, like, oh my god, I actually am living, I can go back to my family.
But are they with you because they feel obligated?
Well, then I would ask, I'd be honest. I'd be like, look, you made this other life. Are you regretting it now? Like, do you see yourself in, like, a much more deeper connection with this other person?
It's the same thing of just, like, if your partner dies, like, what, you never move on?
Yeah.
You never move on.
No, you do move on.
Oh my god.
I know, I would never move on.
I was like, Jesus.
No.
I don't really believe that, like, there's only one person you can ever have. So, like...
Yeah, just
If they get along with someone else and they want to hook up, fine.
Yeah.
That could be your one secret.
They thought they were gonna die anyway, so
couldn't do it.
I would rather open up the conversation so they wouldn't be tormented with like these torn feelings of I feel obligated to be with my family. I feel like they really want me, but then also I have this connection with someone that I thought I would almost die with.
That's fair.
I
So,
would
like,
have to start with it.
Putting
probably.
myself in their shoes, I would open it up for them because I know that would be a very difficult thing for them to come out to me
Yeah.
and say. So I'd be like, look, if this is what you're thinking, at least
Okay.
talk to me about it, and then we can figure it out from there. But I wouldn't want to just like sweep everything under the rug and then have something blow up where like they leave in the middle of the night and I never hear from them again because they resent me for never asking.
Yeah.
Or
I would
like-
have to.
Or do they just assume how I
I would
feel?
just phrase it like nicely. Like be like, all right, let's get this.
So you want to fuck someone else now? Is that what's going on?
Like I would just be like, do you want to be with them? Do you actually want to come home with me? That hug was really like.
I feel like
That hug was half-assed for me, okay? Like, let's be real, you want to go with them. I saw that hug last for 5 seconds.
Wait, how long were they gone on the island? Did it say? Oh god, here we go.
Shit.
Shuffling through the cards. It doesn't. I don't know if it's specified.
Yeah, it does not. It just says they
it
return
just
home.
says, yeah.
I feel like
Enough time
I'm
has
assuming
passed.
at least a year.
I wouldn't ask immediately. If anything, I'd let it torture me and then I'd ask.
Well, maybe what I would do,
God.
I might wait like a day just so I can enjoy their presence again and
Maybe
feel
like
it
a
out,
month and then be like,
and then I would ask.
you know, like the late conversations, like okay, like if you have a sleepover and you stay up really
Mhm.
late, I feel like it'd be like one of those random nights. I'm just like,
Do you still love me?
yeah.
So, do you get that person's phone number, or...
Do you still want to live here?
Yeah. Oh, and you have kids?
Yeah.
That sucks. Yeah.
Right? Like it's hard. That's hard.
No, I would
It's
still
hard,
ask.
but I would, yeah.
I would have to ask.
I'd ask.
I would
him
want
eventually.
their
It's
best
so
interest in
so
mind, too.
shitty though because you're just like, you're alive, but were you faithful? Like that's why I said I would wait like a day to just like enjoy their presence again. But then before I got too attached again, I'd have to ask.
See, I just know for me that if I held off on it, I would just hesitate every
Oh.
night. I would just tell myself, tomorrow, I'll definitely do it. And then I'm
No.
like, oh, we're having such a great time. Like, we haven't talked about it in 24 hours. I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah.
And then wait the next day and be like, fuck, now I waited too long. And it'd be really awkward if I brought it up.
See, I don't think
So
that
I
way. I
would,
have to
like-
build up the courage to ask. So
Mhm.
it would take me like a day.
No, it'd take me like a month.
I would just have to, if it's not immediate, it would be within a 24-hour period of like, maybe come back, have dinner, let them see the family.
Yeah, that's what I
and
meant.
then
Yeah.
be like, do you want to come back to this? Or like, I could just tell the kids because you could also just be like,
He's dead.
yeah,
Jesus.
he didn't come back.
That was fake. Fake news.
Fake news. You didn't see him.
That's so
It
messy.
was a hologram.
Yeah,
They accidentally see their dad walking down the street one day and she's like,
that's her twin uncle
I thought I saw dad
or
today.
aunt.
Or I thought I saw mom.
Oh, that'd be sad.
Yeah.
And
No,
couldn't
I would
do
be.
that.
I would be honest. No, I would be honest with them too.
What if it
Like-
was you? Like that was the person on the desert.
That's what I'm saying. I would have been in that position and been like, I thought I was gonna die, so But then I also feel like I would still, depending on like how long it was,
Yeah.
I still
Yeah.
feel like I would come back and I still would reacclimate to like the family and life that I had before.
Like if you're on the island for like
I don't think I would give that up.
a month.
A month? Oh, I wouldn't have been unfaithful in a month.
Yeah.
No.
I was thinking like,
A year.
man, it has been like a year plus.
Yeah, same.
And no
Yeah.
one's come for us, and like we
Yeah.
are living off of like scavenging.
Okay.
I think I wouldn't make it. I would if I had like such a strong connection with this person on the island. I don't think I would make it more than a few months. I would probably get desperate.
Yeah, you think you're gonna die,
I
man?
was gonna say it depends on how long it was. So okay, so
6 months plus for me.
if
It
there's-
takes like a day, and then I'd probably commit.
we're not getting rescued. It's been 24 hours.
Might as well.
What are you thinking?
You up?
Put writes it in the sand. You up? Sets up a nice bed of leaves.
Yeah.
If my spouse is gone for more than a year, I wouldn't care. At that point, I'd be like, okay, like, it happened.
Yeah.
I thought you were dead, so.
Mhm.
Oh, what if they come back and you're like, crap, I have a boyfriend or a girlfriend now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's the shitty thing to come back to is, like,
Mhm.
they moved on. And like,
yeah.
It would be worse that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was on an episode of Family Guy where Peter got stranded on an island. He came back and Lois was dating Brian, the dog. Because, like, they always had, like, a dynamic thing, and they were like, well, Brian was there for the family. He really hangs out with Chris and, like, studies with Meg and all this stuff and is a much better father than you were. And I was like, damn. Imagine coming back to that.
See, like, but the thing is also, like, you can't expect them to wait, so it just sucks him regardless.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel like if I came back from the island to, like, my husband and he didn't ask me, I would be like, what an idiot. Like, I would just be like, you gotta ask that.
Yeah, see?
I probably would,
That
I would
would've
probably,
been, that would have been the question.
I would probably say it first.
Yeah.
Like, I would just be like, actually, maybe I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't.
I think I would. I would be honest.
Yeah.
I'd say, hey, look, it was this situation.
It happened.
But you know what?
But
They
but I
gone.
would be like so happy to be back, probably.
Like,
Yeah.
but I'm
I'd
Exactly.
be like, oh no, I wanted to see you.
Yeah, I'd be like, no,
Yeah.
my family's my priority. But
Yeah.
now, what would happen if you were the one stranded,
Mm-hmm.
you remained unfaithful, and you came back, and your partner was unfaithful?
Wait, I remained.
Or you remain faithful.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
You remain faithful, like the
And your
worst
partner's-
situation
yeah.
where you're like, I'm sticking it out.
Yeah.
Not gonna cheat on
Oh.
And then they come back and they have like a new boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, or wife, or whatever.
How
and you're
long
just
have I
like,
been
oh
gone?
my god.
Well,
The same amount of time, like a year or
Uh,
however long.
it'd be
I'd be-
fine.
I feel like it would be heartbreaking.
It would be crushing.
It'd be heartbreaking, but
It
it
would
would
be
be
crushing.
fine.
Because like you come back and like, what do? You're like, hey, you gotta get rid of that.
Yeah, like that just puts you in the worst situation of like, yeah, we moved out all your stuff, gave it away, so you
Yeah.
got nothing. And
I would
see
want.
ya.
I would want them to wait like a few months. Like I would expect them to wait at
a
least.
few months.
I expect them
I
to
would-
wait at least a year.
Yeah.
Well, how long am I married to them for?
Let's say.
Oh, I'm
I
thinking
thought you
just
had
dating.
kids.
I keep forgetting. I'm thinking just dating.
Like, kids
so
are
if I'm
involved.
married, I would expect them to wait at least a year.
Like, oh,
To find me.
That'd be so
Yeah.
rough. You come back, you're just like so excited to see your family and your house, and you're like,
Who's this guy?
By the way, you're just like,
I would expect them to wait longer than I would expect the person on the island to wait.
Exactly,
Yes.
because they're
Like-
in the dire situation.
yeah,
Yes.
they're like, we're
You're-
definitely gonna die. And you're just
You
waiting.
might be like, if it's a family, like you just like really couldn't handle being a single parent. and
Yeah.
you, like needed someone. You don't live close to your family. Like it's very
Right.
circumstantial.
Yeah.
Whereas the
Obviously.
island, I can totally see it, totally understand. But if I came back and I was like, damn,
Yeah, you
you
couldn't
got
even wait.
somebody else,
You
like that
replaced
sucks.
me.
Yeah, and then
I keep
like
forgetting you're married. I was just thinking about like dating someone.
no,
I was like, I wouldn't expect them to.
no,
like,
dating,
married.
dating's a
If
little
you're
more
you're married
frivolous.
and you have
Yeah,
kids, yeah,
totally.
I would expect at least like a year.
Yeah.
Please wait a year for me if we've been married at least 5.
Like imagine like what kind of conversation that would be if like, so is it him or me?
Makes me break
And you're
up
just
with
like,
him.
Especially if they were unfaithful and I was unfaithful, I'd be like, thank God. I'd be like, thank God.
We're both horrible, so we're even, right?
yeah.
You know what I'm gonna do on my wedding day in my vows, if we're ever in a it's just gonna be.
If I'm on a desert island for more than a year, you have my blessing.
We have all these stipulations.
Yeah.
Everyone nods and be like,
It's gonna range from like if you're at a restaurant without me and there's a cheese I've never tried, you have to do X, Y, and Z. If you're on a desert island, you can't do that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have all these weird
You're
things.
like, man, where did she get these from? And then
Right?
someone's like,
I'm
you
like-
never saw the podcast.
they're gonna be like, that's not in the Bible.
In the Bible.
This is ad-libbed.
Oh God.
Okay,
That was a
Alright.
good one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
so we have
lot
one
of layers.
more. It's called office politics.
Oh.
Oh wait, I think I know this one. I think this is one we were gonna do.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Say
I'm nervous now. You work in an office. Generally, you are popular with your coworkers. However, you discover that there are currently 2 rumors circulating the office gossip mill, and both involve you.
Yep.
The
Oh,
first
nice.
rumor is that you got drunk at the office holiday party and had sex with one of your married coworkers. The rumor is completely true, but most people don't believe it. The second rumor is that you have been stealing hundreds of dollars of office supplies and then selling them to cover a gambling debt. This rumor is completely false, but virtually everyone assumes it is factual. Which of these two rumors is more troubling to you?
Wait. So, do people know about the cheating one? The first.
People know about it, but
Well,
they
they're
don't
gossiping.
believe it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
People believe
It's
that
gossip.
you're
Gotcha.
selling those supplies for a gambling debt, but that one's not true.
Wait, I'm hooking up with a married coworker,
Yeah.
You got drunk and you had sex with a married coworker.
but I'm
But
not
it was
married.
The one time. Well, you could be. It's
It doesn't
situational
say.
to you.
Currently,
Reading
I
it.
am not married, so not my problem.
They
Their
must have
problem.
had a shit marriage.
Yeah.
You're saying that like the office supplies is more. Yeah, that's more troubling because then you just can't be. Like in both situations, it's like, ooh, can't be trusted, but that one more so affects your career than your personal life.
Well, one of them.
Yes.
One of them's under the guise of being drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which people excuse all the time.
Exactly. Like that's a social norm to kind of be like.
But people
at least
don't-
there's something.
People
there.
don't believe that rumor anyway.
See, that's the thing. I'm gonna say that the
No.
one that they believe is the more troubling to me
It is.
because I don't want
Yeah.
them to. Because I actually didn't do that.
Yeah.
If they found out about the other rumor that it was true, I'd be like,
Yeah,
it was a
happened.
giant mistake. Like, why? Like, what? I'm gonna be like, yeah, I did that. Like, I'm gonna be like, it was a mistake.
It
So
happened
the-
once. It was fine.
But they don't even believe it.
Yeah.
So I feel like the stealing is worse.
Well, at least with the stealing, like, are they saying that you're using the money to cover a gambling debt? Yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
There's.
maybe there's a way that you could like prove that though. Like if it's a
Oh yeah.
check my car, I don't have any office supplies in there, or like check my bank account and look for like hundreds of thousands of dollars being brought in at like very weird intervals.
Yeah.
Like there's something there to prove rather than like gossip of getting drunk. This also has to have a suspension of disbelief for Deanna and I since we don't drink.
Yeah,
So,
I was just
like-
gonna say. I was
So
like,
it's
this
really
is...
hard to put myself in that situation that would ever happen.
Also, it seems even more messed up then. Like, we had sex with the married coworker who was drunk, but we weren't. Like,
Yeah.
that's even worse.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like,
Exactly.
at that point, it's like, oh, was that right? But
So that's kind of why
I'm trying to put
leaning a
myself in the
little
idea
bit-
that I was also drunk. Just
Yeah.
like imagine that for some reason I did that.
Yeah. But that's kind of why I'm leaning a little bit towards the gambling thing, because at least that's like
Is worse or not?
as the one I would choose as less worse. Because
Okay,
that
so
one
the
I could
one-
at least I could talk my way out of that one. I think a bit more than like
Oh, so you're saying that it's more troubling to you the cheating one?
yeah,
Okay.
because like yikes.
The gambling one is more troubling because it affects my career. 1, 2. The other one, I'd be like, yeah, I was drunk. Like, a lot of things happen when you're drunk.
But you also just said that that's an excuse that people also don't buy.
I mean, they don't. But everyone if you're at an office holiday party, everyone's trashed.
Not me.
I feel like it's
Most
more.
people are trash.
I feel like it's more common for that to happen than it is for you to be stealing office supplies. I feel like
Yeah.
that'd be more troubling to me, just because my mom had a coworker
I
that stole
know,
office supplies.
yeah.
Oh God, she got fired. Yeah, it was just like I just feel like no one would trust you. Like I wouldn't be able to have. I mean, no one would trust me if they believed the
Yeah.
other one either. But they don't believe it, so that's my thing.
But, like, even if you became known as a cheater, it's not that you wouldn't be trusted. They probably wouldn't trust you around their husbands. But, like,
Yeah.
at work, you should be trusted to, like,
Well, socially,
deal
that
with
also
paper.
like puts some. Both of them put like a social connotation to you of like, oh, that's like a
bad
family killer, or that's
Oh.
a stealer right there, or something.
homewrecker.
Homewrecker, yeah, that's the term.
Hmm.
But like the thing that's like defining it for me is like, while the first one people don't know if it's true or not, but it was true.
Yeah, I get
It's
what you're
harder
saying.
for me to cope with than
Mhm.
something that I could at least like have evidence to be like try to persuade them, be like,
See-
look at my bank account, there is nothing.
Tim's taking it on the side of like he's like, it's more troubling to me that something I really didn't do is being
Yeah.
believed
Yeah.
versus like
Like,
we're like we don't care what's believed.
like I I do care what people think of me, but I also don't care what people think of me. So it's hard for me to like.
Well, no, technically we're on the same
distinguish
side.
between
You're
the
just saying
It's different reasoning.
you're arguing that you could disprove it versus we're like we can't convince anyone, so we would be more worried about that one.
Yeah.
But I'm also more worried about the whole like things actually that I do
Yeah.
of like cheating,
Yeah.
making someone else cheat on their significant other with me. I would feel pretty shitty about.
Yeah.
Whereas like I could have, because I would go home to bed. I don't care about my office job. This doesn't sound like a career. This is an office. So like, I'm seeing it as like something that's like
moving up,
a way to get up somewhere else that I want to go to.
Yeah.
They don't say like this is your career workplace. Because every time they say office, it always sounds like a boring office job. So
Like a call center.
yeah, exactly, or like being
I think
being a low wage
so.
accountant.
The question is, which of these is more troubling to you? So it's basically.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to think of is like, what am I gonna lose sleep over? Like, what am I gonna
I'm
be
losing
thinking
sleep.
about?
I'm losing sleep over the fact that I slept with someone that was married.
I would lose sleep over both.
I think.
Because I could at least get a different job. Like, true, it would damage my credibility in other workplaces. But let's say I got a job somewhere else. Like, maybe only the higher ups would know this fact about me. And, like, people in a different job wouldn't look at me like that anymore. Whereas, like, if I was in the same job, then yeah, I would have that thought process over me. But I could go home and be like, whatever. That's what they think about me, but it's not true. But I could go home and be like, oh my god, that was true, that I slept with someone. And then it, like, takes over my mind 24/7.
If we're going based off of what you would lose sleep over, it would be the cheating one. Just because of my family's history. So, that would definitely keep me up all night, because I would feel like shit for ruining someone else's family. Yeah, it would just
bleed into the rest of my life, where it's like, what happens when I get married is, like, my significant other gonna cheat on someone? Like, is this going to be karma that's going to come back? Or am I going to be unfaithful when I get married still?
Right.
Like,
because then, like, in your career path, if someone brings up the whole, like, supply stealing thing, then you can prove your... Okay,
there would be an investigation. There would be an investigation if something like that was like, hey, I'm accusing you of stealing money. And they'd be like, well, let's look into that. Rather than be like, I believe that one person just because it's a negative thing.
Right.
Whereas, like, if someone said, oh, I think you may have slept with someone, been like, haha, that would have been weird. And then me going home being like, oh my god, I can't believe I did that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's fine. It's fine if you don't see it that way. But.
So, I agree that you could, like, disprove the stealing thing. So I would just kind of be like, I don't care what anyone else thinks as long as my boss knows it's not true. And, like, I could prove to them. Like,
yeah, or
but,
if it was a job that I cared about, I could.
Right,
it would be investigated.
But the cheating part, like, no one believes it, and I'm assuming it was not intentional. So I just don't know, like, what I mean.
No, it's totally not intentional. If the preface is that you guys were drunk.
Yeah.
But, like, still, intentional or not, that still, like, fucks me up.
True.
Being like, oh my god, I can't believe, like, me being in that state decided to do that. Like, what does that say about, like, any other time I get drunk later on in my life? If I have a family, would that stop me then? Would I do it again? Would I not?
Yeah, I guess I would just be more worried that, like, also just about, like, how things would happen in the workplace, too, I guess. But since people don't, I don't know how to answer.
I'm seeing things more broader than just work. Like, the whole cheating on someone, like, affects 100% of my life.
But it wasn't
work is like 35 to 50%.
But I wasn't cheating on who I was dating, so because I would be single at that point. So.
No, but the fact, like.
The baggage that comes with cheating or, like, having an affair is more than just you cheating on someone.
But they might not have found out. Nothing in their family. If they're also hiding it, it's on them. Yeah. It's their baggage. I don't know.
Yeah, but you're also
in my head, like, I'm assuming that I don't have to deal with it.
That's too empathetical for me to like distance myself from that. Like, even if I wasn't in a relationship at that point, if I was like single and I was just the person that some married person decided to cheat on with, like that would still mess me up because I'd be like, oh my god, like,
I'd feel like
the person
garbage.
Doesn't know, and I feel so bad, and like, what does that say about me? And then,
Yeah.
like, what happens later on in my life?
Because your hands aren't clean in that situation. Even
Yeah.
if they never find out.
I
Yeah.
sound so shitty because I'm just like, I don't know.
Like-
But no, like, I know I'm trying to, like, remove myself from, like, because I know no matter what, I would feel awful. So I'm trying to think, like, okay, what would I really, like, it would mess me up for
eventually,
years.
They would
That
find
would mess me
out,
up for
and then,
years.
like, women are catty, so once they find out, okay, so let's say you cheated with this guy and his wife, one day finds out that, like, he cheated, then she finds out it was you. She knows that you work with him, and then she calls you or something and is like, you cheated with my husband, blah, blah, blah. Like, then it's this whole thing. And
I
now
would
you
feel
have to
more
deal with
bad
it.
about the kids.
I'd feel
It's
bad
not
about
a
the
good
entire
situation.
family. Yeah.
But at the same time, I really...
She could be crazy and come in, like, guns blazing, like, throwing fists, like,
Yeah.
comes into the office, and then everyone knows.
Yeah.
Then the gossip is confirmed.
The crappy part of it is that it's not... I'm not going to say that it's not your fault, but it's their fault more so than yours.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because they're the one
it's
that's
100% their
definitely.
fault. That's also why I'm trying to see it like it was not like I may have known that they were married, but
They're
I
the one
was
that's
if I'm
married.
drunk and they're drunk, they are responsible for not
Mhm.
doing it. So that's why I'm like, would I really feel that
But
guilty?
you're also, like, I'm assuming you also know that they're married.
I
So
said
it's-
I would
yeah.
know and they would know.
But it's
but-
also your responsibility for not putting yourself in that
that
situation.
Right.
of
No, I know
being a
that, but I'm
homewrecker.
just saying like in the end like they shouldn't have even had the drive to pursue me.
Mhm.
No.
And like if say I'm still fucked up and I'm pursuing them.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm fucked up, but I could deal with my own internal whatever how shitty of a person I am. Versus like they had the decision like no, not to like you can't force anyone. I mean, yeah, you can. You can't force anyone to do anything. I'm assuming this was like, you know, both
Yeah.
of you were drunk and consensual.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like so
You can't have consent, Deanna, if there's alcohol involved.
Good point.
It was mutual. It was not consensual.
mutual, thank you. It was mutual, and it shouldn't have been mutual.
Yeah.
Like they should have
Yeah.
been like, "No, this is wrong," and they didn't.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like, I would still feel awful, and I would still be worried about that. I'm just thinking that like sometimes when it comes to like things with stealing, like I'm trying to see it as like when it comes to like things like that, people will see that as an accident, but the connotation of stealing comes with that it was intentional. And like
Right.
some people will never, even if you disprove it, will still see you in that light.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking about reputation wise, like
But
how it
that's the
affect.
thing is, like, that's my differential is I don't care at
Yeah.
that point. I gave you the information and it was your choice to deny it.
Interesting.
Rather than the fact that I can't deny that I did do that thing. Like,
That's true.
that's something that I would internalize.
I
'Cause,
can't really
like,
pick one. I think both are just so bad.
I would think the cheating for
The-
me is a lot worse.
The cheating thing would kill me just because I just feel like it's so stupid. It didn't have to happen.
Yeah, right. But again, it's just like there could be evidence traced to like those accusations of stealing money. Be like, find security footage of me. What casino do I go to gamble? Where do I even gamble?
It's
Tell me.
creepy because they do know that stuff.
Yeah.
Like if you're a frequent player.
Okay,
Mhm.
how much office supplies are you stealing to
Yeah,
make
like,
up
are
a
you
gambling
stealing
debt?
That was
Printers?
also
Yeah.
my
What are you
thought.
stealing?
But
No,
if
I'm
you
thinking it's
sell,
literally like paper,
in
paper,
bulk,
staples,
it's expensive.
like yeah, but like really,
I wouldn't
how
be
much-
No,
selling it.
Yeah, like
Like
you would
And
either
how much-
have to sell a lot of that or you would have to sell one thing that's very expensive.
I'm assuming supplies isn't machinery, so I'm thinking like paper, rubber bands, staples, pencils,
Well,
pens.
then that's a petty debt. Or you're like in it for the long game.
Mhm.
I'm like,
and,
how much can you steal at once without people noticing? So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you're really in it for like the long game of like, I'm stealing something small every day.
maybe they're like computers.
I don't think you could steal that though without
Yeah.
people. Like it'd have to be like people start to notice that they don't have pens and shit, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which really is the worst possible way to make up for debt.
Yeah. Go
Because
rob a
then
jewelry
that debt
store or
accrues over time. There's interest.
something.
Yeah.
It would be pointless from the first place. So they would also have to think about that. Be like, guys, why the fuck would I steal office supplies?
See, the thing about
It's 5 cents for that ruler.
I guess if I had to settle, like, I would say the cheating is the more worrisome part, just because I'd be like so worried that something like that could happen again.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
And I would just be like, can I not trust myself anymore?
Yeah. And then also,
But
like,
that's
if
why I
we're-
don't drink to begin with. So that's why, like, my
Because
whole...
I would do it.
No,
No, yeah.
like, you just can't control
You're
yourself.
eliminating
I don't
that
know.
I've
possibility.
never done anything stupid
No.
like that.
No.
No, I know. But I'm just saying, like...
It's not to say
falling.
that drunkenness equals you're going to cheat on
No.
someone.
Well,
I'm
That's
just
not-
saying that drunkenness to me equals a risk that I'm not willing to take. Because I don't know
Which is
what'll
fair.
happen. Regardless if it's
Yeah.
about cheating. It could be about just me breaking something.
Stealing
It
office
could be about
supplies.
me becoming addicted to it. Like, it could be
Yeah.
anything. So mainly the reason is I don't like the taste. But...
But then you could also have, like, your reputation, quote unquote, ruined in the office and be like, I don't want to associate myself with that person. That person's a homewrecker.
Mhm.
Or, like, well,
they're an alcoholic.
they'll try sleeping with me next time they're drunk at the office party, so I'm not going to talk to them anymore.
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't know how do people move on from stuff like that? Like, how do you get,
It takes a while.
they don't.
like, meaning, like, how do people, like, gain reputation? I guess you would just leave wherever you are.
Move on from being known as a cheater.
Yeah.
I don't
In the
know.
workplace, you probably, it's
Get a
just
new
a matter
job.
of time.
I would just
Yeah.
get a new
And,
job.
Like, you just stay there, and then people will just, like, start to forget about it or just ease up on it.
I would say they would definitely ease up over time, but like, you would still be known as a cheater.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to leave. We talked about this before. Didn't you say something about, like, if you would tell a new partner if you had cheated on the previous one or
Mhm.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
wouldn't
you
tell
said you would the last time we talked about this.
Currently, I wouldn't because
See?
I wouldn't want
Yeah.
them. I wouldn't
I was
want
like,
them to be like,
Oh,
you're
you're gonna
gonna
do it
cheat
again."
on me." Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's what my thing is. I'm like,
Because
you can have. I mean, cheating is never an excuse for anything. But I'm
No.
just saying, like, okay, what if that so deeply affected you and you wanted to move on, and then what? You get to rehash it every single time you get in
Yeah.
a relationship.
And
Doesn't
most
feel
people
fair.
believe that once you're a cheater, you're always a cheater, which is not
Which is-
true.
Yeah.
I mean, some people show.
I was like, it depends who. I was gonna say it is true
Yeah,
for
it
some
can-
people.
Yeah,
can
but
depend,
like
yeah.
some people can, like, change and get better.
Yeah.
But because sometimes, like, I feel like a lot of times when people cheat, it's like when they're younger and they're stupid.
Most of the time, unless they're like those old businessmen.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, if we want to, like, take the same example to, like, the extreme level, like Deanna likes to do,
Oh,
Yes.
it's the same thing that, like, registered sex offenders would have to do. Every time they move to
Ooh,
a new community,
yeah.
they have to go house to house and say, hello, I'm a registered sex
Wait,
offender.
they have to do it to every house?
But
They have to do
I
it
would
to their
say
whole
the
community so
neighborhood
everyone
gets
knows.
notified.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So, like, if a family with kids lives there, they have to notify them that, like, I, in my past, you know, did some pretty fucking awful things with children.
Yeah.
And then, like, maybe that's also a thing. Like, a lot of the times they don't move on from that, but say there is a person in a community that tries to move somewhere and start fresh. They don't have that option to be like, no, I'm not a registered sex offender, because then they'll be thrown back in jail. So, like, in the very rare case that they do atone for what they did and they definitely try to move on, people ain't gonna let that slide.
No.
Same with cheating.
Yeah.
So, like, cheating, at least you get to have the option if they ask you and you can lie and, you know, you just live with that lie, but
Yeah.
because no one's going to give you, it's hard to persuade people that you're a different person
I
than
feel
what you
like
were before, that maybe you were just stupid at that time.
Maybe
for
if they
cheating.
asked me if I had ever cheated before, maybe then I would.
I feel like it
admit
depends
it.
on when. Like, if it was like 10 years beforehand, you hadn't cheated since, and I'd be like, it happened once.
Well,
Yeah.
definitely,
Oh,
like,
my last
a-
relationship.
Definitely a stage in
Yeah.
your life. Like, if you were, like, 16 or
Mhm.
something, then it's like, yeah, you were just a dumbass kid.
Yeah.
But if it's, like, 30 versus 40,
Yeah.
as opposed to 16 versus 26, like, you're
Yeah.
30 and 40, you're, like, in a pretty similar
state.
lifestyle, and,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, you figured
you
more
haven't
stuff
really,
out.
yeah, you're a mature person by that point.
But
Mhm.
put 16 between 26, there's so much that's
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
It's between high school and moving out of college.
Yeah, 16 to
Getting a job.
24 now it's just weird for me. So.
Yeah.
hmm
So, like, it totally also depends on those factors, too.
If you're like, I actually cheated on my last girlfriend with you. Then
2
it'd be
months
like,
oh, man.
whoa.
That's a no-no. Then they're like, oh, shit.
yeah. I'm like, all right, I'm done.
Yikes. This got deeper than I thought it would.
Yeah, no, it's got very philosophical. You know, the whole thing that the hypotheticals, like, aim to do a little bit.
Yeah.
We just took it even further by,
We all
Diverting
agreed
twice.
that it was terrible.
yeah. Terrible situations. You just pick the lesser of two evils.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough.
The whole time I was thinking about The
Chicken?
Office with
Oh.
Jim and Pam.
Oh.
Just like cheating and stuff. So when Jim kisses her at first in the beginning.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
like,
And then Roy he was terrible.
in that case, I perfectly support it.
If the situation called for it.
I hated Roy.
Oh,
Well, they didn't have sex.
Yeah, but I mean, a kiss is still technically cheating.
I know, but I was just saying like
It
And
wasn't
also they weren't
as
technically
an
married.
extreme.
expression of love to
they
someone
were
else.
almost married.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were almost married.
but like Jim and Pam were meant to be, so I condone it.
It was destiny. Those characters were written to be together.
Yeah.
So it's easier to justify.
Cool. Yeah, I think I had picked this to do, and then we didn't do it. This was one of the ones I said that right?
Yeah.
I think it was one of the ones I was gonna do, and then we chose different ones that we preferred.
Yeah. Makes
that
sense.
were more extreme. That was good.
Yeah, good choices, Ryia. Good
Thanks.
choices.
I tried. Actually, that one I picked randomly without reading it.
Oh, good.
Well,
Yeah, we-
it produced the most
we
amount
have
of dialogue.
Yeah.
We have so many more
Oh,
to
yeah.
do, and we're gonna do them all right now. No.
No. In this marathon 24-hour episode.
Yeah. Oh my God, we're live streaming actually. If you missed it,
God.
still donate. No.
Fuck that. Follow us on Patreon.
Oh God. Think about that for a second. But yeah,
That was good.
thanks,
Good
Rav.
time. Yeah, thank
Thanks
you, Ryia.
for having me.
Yeah, we'll be
You're
doing more.
welcome.
Eventually, it'll just be Tim and I again.
Sad.
Well, I mean, you know, everyone's always welcome. It's
Yeah.
just-
Then we'll get more people on as the time comes.
yeah, the episode with Elias was a big hit.
Yeah, it was.
Everyone just
Spread
thought he
like
was so
wildfire.
charming. Shocker.
It's a
Without
lot.
even looking at him.
He's a charming voice.
Everyone liked the title
Very
of your
charismatic.
episode though, because Tim titled it "Rya's Above Average."
I am above average.
There you go.
Fantastic.
Full circle.
Yeah, I'll actually have like brain power to like help with the episodes, thinking of things, titling them. Since Tim edits and doesn't want me to have to bother with it, maybe I'll learn how to edit, so then Tim
Ew.
wouldn't have to do it.
It's
That'll be-
complicated
that'll
to
be a
have two
hobby.
people editing the same thing.
No,
So
I
you
meant
have to,
like
like-
instead of you.
Yeah,
I
I
would do
know.
it.
Yeah.
Switch.
Switcheroo.
This is the behind the scenes. Great.
If the quality drops, it's Deanna's fault.
Oh.
Nah.
Well, happy holidays.
Yeah. Right after this, we all go back home.
Yeah. Hopefully, you're still with us,
Yeah.
even though it's been months. Did we do one for Halloween this year? We said we were going to it now.
I think it was around Halloween time.
Actually, I thought
That was
you
the
did.
last one.
Yeah. But
Thanks, Dan, for listening.
so specific. Why, Dan?
I don't know.
That's awesome.
Just got to call out one person. And they're like, oh.
Oh. Yeah. We'll be back though soon.
Yeah. Now that Deanna's got free time, she'll harp me on
Yeah.
doing more podcasts.
I'm gonna try
and
not
be
to,
like,
but
hey, look, I know you got school still, but I don't. And you know, it would be really nice if we could do some stuff now, since a lot of the times was the fact that I was busy and you weren't.
yeah. Yeah.
And be like, I guess so. I guess you got a point there.
We should do it in like the mornings when we really hate our
Oh,
lives.
at 8 a.m. before work?
No, I meant on weekends.
Oh,
Mercy, you should definitely do a morning podcast.
Oh my God, make Tim do one at
eat
like 7
pancakes.
a.m. Yeah.
Oh my god, no, why would
I
you
was
do that?
thinking
Well, I gotta
9.
work at like 8:30, I think. So.
On a weekend?
No, sorry, I meant during the week.
See, we
I mean,
flip-flop
on a
there.
weekend.
I went off what you were saying.
yeah, yeah. No, on the weekend that'd be. Oh yeah, over breakfast, that'd be so cute.
Yeah.
Pancake
God.
podcast.
Yeah.
Dude.
I gotta go get some Christmas gifts
Yeehaw.
right now. Not right now. I need to order them.
See ya.
Great. Thanks for joining us for the long and
Short of.
It.
There we go.
nice. Only Ryan knows how to say it. Perfect. Boom.
Nice.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. This is the end. This is the end. This is the end.